Hi, I'm here with our township manager, Ed Nelson. Ed, we've had a couple big storms come through in the past week. Road crew seems to be doing a great job. I was wondering, can you explain to the people what the road crew goes through and what you do when a snowstorm comes in?
Well, the first thing I do when I hear that there's a snowstorm coming in, I pray. And then I call Lindsay Manzai and we discuss what process we're going to follow for that storm. And I think it's important for everybody to understand not every storm is going to require brine. We have to make that judgment based on what we expect for snowfall and what we expect for any rain, and then what the temperature is.
Well, and why do you put brine down on the road?
Well, when the snow hits it and somebody drives over it, it breaks it up and it it kind of like starts to break up the ice and the snow that's already down there, and that's what it does. It's like a first shot. But if we're going to get any accumulation of snow, it's usually better for us to plow it and then just put material down behind it so that vehicles driving over it can work the salt and melt it. And then if it's going to rain, if we're going to have any rain at all, there's no sense in putting the brine down because it's just going to wash it away. So we have to make that judgment, and it's not cheap to use the brine. So we have to make that judgment early on, to do that. But last year we got somewhere in the area of around 5 inches of snow. Right now we're pushing 50 for this year. We've gotten an awful lot of snow, and it takes time. And the thing that I would ask everybody to do is try to be courteous to these guys. They're doing this job for us. And it seems like an easy job, but when you're driving a truck for 6, 8, 10 hours straight in the dark, visibility's maybe limited, it can get quite stressful. And they're out there making sure that they're safe and they're keeping everybody else safe. So I'm going to ask you, please, if your cars, please get them off the road so that the road's clear for them to be able to pass by. On Mondays, we have gotten our storms every Sunday night for the last 3 weeks. When it comes to Monday morning, their streets are lined with garbage pails. Please get your garbage cans off the road. Dig a hole somewhere along your driveway or inside on your property off a curb, and put the garbage pail there. It's going to get hit. They're not going to stop their truck and get out, move your can, and then move on. It's not going to happen. And they are, and in some cases, they're not even going to be able to see them. So please get those back. People with mailboxes. The shoulder goes from the center line 16 feet. So when we plow, we come through the first time to open the road up, and then each time we come back, it's to widen it. And we're going to widen it at least to a white line if there's a white line on your road, but we may go past that. When we had almost 3 feet of snow, and we know that we're going to get another one in a week, we have to make sure we can get the snow off the road. So we are going to push it back. So don't get upset with us. That's the way it's going to be. When you put your mailbox in, go 16 feet for the pole plus 3. And then put your pole in. The Postal Service will be able to get to that mailbox and put your mail in there when there's no snow for sure. But you probably won't have your mailbox knocked over. And the ordinance in the township is if we hit your mailbox with the plow, we'll give you $25 to replace it. But if it gets knocked over because of the snow, you're on your own. And we've had a lot of folks come in with those concerns, but that's the way it's going to have to be.
I've had residents who have reached out to me and they have said they want to know when the road crew is going to come through their development or on their road, because they're afraid if an emergency situation arises, how is the ambulance or the fire department going to get to me if I need to call 911? Can you explain what the process is?
we have routes that each guy has a route that he follows. We can't give you a time when we're going to be there because we don't know how much snow is going to be down on the road. And if there's ice, there's going to be delays for that. If there's heavy snow, there's going to be delays for that. So we can't give you a time. We will get to every road. You just need to be patient. If there is an emergency, don't call John, because John's going to call me, and then I'm going to tell John, unless there's an ambulance call, a police call, or a fire call, those are the only three things we will go off our route to help with. Not because you call up and say, you know, you can't get out of your driveway. Only if there's an emergency will we change those routes. And the 911 center will call us. So if you have an emergency, you call 911, tell them where it is. If, in fact, like when we had the heavy storm, the road was not passable, 911 or the control center will call us. We'll go out ahead of the ambulance, make sure the road's clear. The fire department, now each fire department, North Bangor and Mount Bethel, both have we call quick response vehicles with plows on them. And their responsibility on an ambulance call is to lead that ambulance and make sure that the driveway's open when they get there, and we help too in the event that they can't get there. So we will make sure that the ambulance and the fire department will get there as quickly as they possibly can. But you have to coordinate it through the control center. It's not best to call us or call John. It's best to call the control center if you have any of those concerns.
If it's a 911 call.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else going on in the township you want the people to be aware of?
I have the gate at the park locked, but the walk gate is open. The reason that I've locked the gate going into the road of the park is because prior to the snows, we had some nitwits in there with their trucks doing donuts and spinning around and breaking everything up, and I can put up with that on the cinders. But I was afraid that with the snow, I would get somebody that would go back there that was more overconfident with their four-wheel drive vehicle, and if they're back that far, nobody would ever even know they're there. Plus, no one's going to be using the playground while the snow's there. So if you want to walk your pet or whatever, we do plow the road so you can walk, but we lock the main gate so that the foolhardy cannot get back there. Okay. Okay. And you may have seen a truck go back there with a tractor on it, and that was approved by me, so that we can get some work done back there.
Great, great. Well, Ed, thank you for the update. Very much appreciated, and thanks for what you do for our township.
And please, anybody that has a question, please call the township building. We're trying to keep track of the calls. Certain things get pointed out to us that are consistent over time, so we can get out ahead of that, going forward. If there is anybody who plows snow driveways independently and you're willing to take on work, give us your name. When we get into storms like we did a couple weeks ago, and there were older people who could not get their driveways cleared, we can at least give them a number to call, and you can work it out with those folks. But we'll take numbers of folks that want to do that kind of work to help out people. And if you're going to be a volunteer, that's even better yet.
Great. Well, Ed, thank you very much, and everybody have a good day.